said you was there. Hey, yo. All right, Shalom, Israel, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Thumb. My sister, Yahweh, Shemar, Al Thumb, by Hashem, Yahweh, Shai. I'm preaching Officer #1 of the I.S.U.P.K, the commanding GEN.YAHANNA. Started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Got my brother here, Trooper Aharon, with me, you know what I'm saying? Soon to be big priest, you know what I mean? So today, we're going to jump in. We're going to talk a little bit about New Year's, Janus, you know, the money being spent, you know what I'm saying, in America today on these wicked holidays. And of course, these things cause destruction to Israelites. So again, if you just tuned in, this is under a commanding GEN.YAHANNA, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're here in Pittsburgh today. So we're gonna the first thing we're gonna jump into New Year's. Okay, so we're just gonna read up on that. Let's see here. Let me pull this here real quick. So what New Year's is what? Is it tomorrow or Sunday? No, Monday. Monday, right?
Calm.
Yeah, right, Monday, okay. Let me see something. You got something on New Year's in your phone? Did I send it to you? Or is it just something else? Or that's Janus, maybe? Yeah, that's just Janus. Here, I'll read it. I got it right here. All right, so it says, this is New Year, okay. The New Year is the time or day at which a new calendar year begins, and the calendar year count increments by one. Many cultures celebrate the event in some manner. In the Gregorian calendar, the most widely used calendar system today, New Year's occurs on January 1st. All right, so, I'll read a little note over here. New Year's Day is celebrated on January 1st, every year in many countries around the world. It is a time to reflect on the past year and make resolutions for the upcoming year. Many people celebrate the occasion by attending parties, watching fireworks displays, and eating special foods. All right, so that's enough of that. All right, so New Year's Day is observed January 1st. All right, so first of all, with the Romans in 153 BC, that's when these things start to take place or whatever. Prior to that, the New Year's was celebrated in March. I think it was March 25th, which was the vernal equinox. All right, that's the 2 times of the year when the sun crosses the equator and day and night are equal everywhere in length. All right, so let me see here. In Rome, it was a civil date, the day after elections, when the consuls or chief magistrates of the Roman Republic. So this, you know how like what is it in America? Like around January they have what, elections, right? Yeah, right. So this is where these things come from. Like in Rome, around 153 BC, this is where it started. Now, of course, we know that the Romans are the oppressor, the devils that the Bible speaks about. You understand that? It's that over here in America, this Western civilization, it's the same people. They're just over here today. And these are our rulers today here in America. All right, so when you take on these customs, you're taking on things that, preceded here in America through the Romans and then preceded them through the ancient Egyptians, because we know that the Greeks were the first civilized Europeans, and they learned and studied under the pharaohs in Egypt and everything. So this is all heathen customs, okay? This is not customs of the children of Israel. If you want to jump in at any time, feel free. All right, so talking about January 1st, okay? We're still on New Year's. It says Romans moved New Year's back 3 months, okay, and gave the months new names. All right, so remember it said that originally, this was in March, okay, so it moved it back to to January, okay. So this is something that just was instituted by man. It's not something that the Most High says we're supposed to celebrate. This is something that man just decided to do. The Romans were in charge at the time, so they basically had the power to just do what they want. Now, if I could, when it says here. And they named the months, they gave the months new names. Do me a favor, Ron. Pull up Psalms 49:11 and read that for me. Psalms 49:11. Look it up here on my phone too as well. The book of Psalms 49:11. Let me know when you get that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 11.
All right.
Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
What do they do?
They call their lands after their own names.
All right, so who is the there that it's talking about? What you think on it, bro?
Heathens.
Right. The so-called oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks about. Your white man. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. That's the patriotic American spirit right there. They're never going to be defeated. And their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. That's what you see here in America. Everything that you see is named after some oppressor. You understand that? That's what that's talking about. All right, so Julius Caesar instituted a new calendar under Greek astronomer Sosigenes, which came from the Egyptian solar calendar. So when you start talking about the ancient Egyptians, that's talking about, you know, worshiping the sun and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? This is where the Romans and the Greeks get it from, okay? So Julius Caesar instituted a new calendar, which came from what they learned from the ancient Egyptians, all right? And July is named after who?
Julius Caesar.
Right, That's where, see, like I said, they're inward thought. They shall dwell forever, and they named their lands after their own names. So the same thing with the months. July comes from Julius Caesar. All right, the same thing with his, I believe, is his grandson Augustus Caesar. That's where August comes from. Right. Now pull this up for me. Isaiah 1 and 14. I'm gonna prove that here. Isaiah 1 and 14. All right. And we were just talking about the solar calendar and etc. Go ahead for me.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul have hated.
Right. Sloppy. Mm-hmm.
They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them.
Keep going.
Verse 15. Mm-hmm. And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Ye, when you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood.
Right. Now, what Trooper Aharon just brought out here is real heavy. In verse 14, when it says your new moons, that's what they're talking about when they're talking about this vernal equinox and the new year and stuff like that, right? This is a so-called new moon or a feast that's appointed by man, not by the Most High. That's why he says your new moons, not what the Most High says to do, but your new moons and your appointed feast. That's what these holidays are. They are appointed by who? Your oppressor. You understand that? It's not something that the Most High God wants us to do. It's something that's appointed by the white man, okay? So that's why it says, your new moons, your appointed feast, my soul hateth, okay? Mm-hmm. The Most High God hates things like New Year's, you know, Halloween, Christmas, what we just got done with, which is originally Saturnalia, basically, which is another Roman institution, okay? And again, these are things that are learned by the Greeks and the Romans that they got from the ancient Egyptians, who were the first wicked bastards on the earth, you know, Salakia. But again, in Isaiah 1:14, the Most High says, your new moons and your appointed feasts my soul hateth. They are trouble unto me, and I am weary to bear them. Verse 15, and when you spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. This is talking about us, the children of Israel. You know, when you're going through all these trials and tribulations in the world, and then you feeling this oppression here in America and all over the world, when you go to, you know, call on the Lord, but you've been a sinner, you've been celebrating New Year's Eve, New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, your birthday, all these different things, the Most High God's going to hide his eyes from us. And that's the proof is what? Transatlantic slave trade. Living in the ghettos, the barrios, you understand that? Being number one in every disease, you know, cancer, diabetes, AIDS, you understand that? Our children down in the streets, police brutality. Just like that video just circulated today about the Karen calling the children, you know, the N-word. These things can happen because we're just crushed here in America. Like I said, you can jump in anytime you want. Yeah, you know what I mean? So the Lord is against New Year's, okay? He's against New Year's. The Lord has nothing to do with that. Now, we're going to show you, you know, what New Year's has to deal with, okay? So we're going to jump into New Year's customs. You got that? I sent you something about Janus, okay? I sent you something about Janus. So we're going to talk a little bit about this Roman god, Janus, all right? This is where January, the month of January, comes from. And we're going to talk about who Janus is, and we're going to jump into that. So if you got that for me, you can go ahead and read a little bit of that.
Okay, this is Wikipedia regarding Janus.
Okay.
In ancient Rome religion and myth, Janus is the god of beginnings.
Right.
Gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, and endings. He is usually depicted as having two faces.
Right.
the month of January is named for Janus. According to ancient Roman farmers' almanacs, Juno was mistaken as the tutelary deity of the month of January.
Right.
But Juno is the tutelary deity of the month June.
All right. So, so what this is now at the beginning was real heavy here. Trooper Haran brought it out. Janus is the god of beginnings. What is the new year? What is that about? The beginning of a new year. Gates, transitions. You know how people say we're transitioning into the new year? The old me is done away with. I'm getting to the new me. You know what I mean? I was smoking weed last year, but in the new year, I'm not going to smoke as many blunts as I did last year. So like we don't do that in the UPK, you understand that? I'm just talking about things of the world, you understand that? Time, duality, doorways. Now I'm about to crush somebody. I'm about to crush something here. You know what that's talking about? What is it talking about when it says doorways? What do you see on most people's doorways during the so-called holidays?
Is that a wreath?
Come on. Ain't that something? I bet you never knew. Unless you're in the I.S.U.P.K. and the Commanding Gen.YAHANNA, when you put those wreaths and Christmas wreaths on your door, that represents Janus. You see how slick the oppressor is? He got you worshiping gods and you don't even know it. You understand? And these things are the cause of our destruction. This is why I put it up on the screen here. This is what Janus looks like in their culture. A two-faced so-called deity. You understand that? That's Janus. Hopefully you can see that there on the camera. But again, is the god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, and endings. So it's the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024. You about to worship Janus in 2 days. He is usually depicted as having two faces, Salakia. The month of January is named after Janus. Salakia, we're not laughing, but it's just so interesting and so how do you say how the oppressor just throws these things into the mix and you don't even know. You understand that? And then you wonder why all these murders and you know, deaths and all these type of things that happen to us around these times. And you wonder why, you know, like at the slavery the other day, I think I told you this. Somebody tried to get on my bus. We drive for public transportation. Somebody tried to get on my bus and they were short fare. And I don't care about the short fare, but it's how you do it. It's how you know, if you try to, you know, play me or lie when you get on, especially if you're oppressed. This was an oppressor too. So I have no, you know what I mean? You gonna be straight with me or you gonna get off. So this oppressor came on, told a bunch of lies, and make a long story short, I ended up kicking him off. And you know what he said to me? He gonna say, "You gonna kick me off the day after Christmas?"
As if we care about it.
Like I'm supposed to have some mercy on you because it's Christmas or New Year's is coming. You didn't met the wrong brother. You understand that? He didn't have no idea that he was running into a priest in the I.S.U.P.K. and Commanding Gen.YAHANNA. So I'm not gonna have no, you know what I mean, mercy on you. And you damn sure don't have no mercy on us. You understand that? So I'm gonna run off a list of things that happened during New Year's, their customs. Salakia. So, number one, creation anew. That's what Janus has to do with. Reborn in spirit. Cycle of time, right? Purgations. What does purging mean? It means like the clear of guilt. That's why you see so many people going into the Christian church and confessing their sins and purging what happened last year. I was the sisters in the world. I was a whore last year, and I want to cleanse myself of that going into the new year. It's going to last about 2 or 3 days, and you'll be right back in the city. You'll be right back under somebody's, you know, up under some nigga. You know what I mean? That ain't your husband. You know what I mean? So and you brothers, you know what I'm saying? You want to rid yourself of that porn addiction that you got. You know what I mean? You shut down Pornhub for a couple of weeks, and then you'll be right back at it. Salakia. You know what I mean? Number 4, confession of sins, driving off demons. You know what I'm saying? Expulsion of evil. That's the same thing with the purging thing. Mass processions. What does that sound like? Things like Mardi Gras. You understand that? When people, and what else? New Year's parties, New Year's Eve parties. You understand that? You got to watch it too. You brothers and sisters got to watch it because if you're going out and the next day or two, you're going to be faced with a lot of these parties and these bars and stuff like that. And they're going to be
sisters.
Right. No, right. Oh yeah, our sisters are they're pinpoint targets for that because you know they want to get out and have a good time, not knowing. I mean, they're going out and Salaki, don't get me wrong. There's nothing unlawful about having a drink. The problem is on New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. You got to be careful about, you know, what you're around, you know what I mean, what's going on, and, you know, if you're out or something like that, because you could be sucked into this heathenistic custom. You understand that? So, again, mass processions, which is like masquerade parties. You understand that? Honoring the dead. This is where you get in, you know, about New Year's. People feel sorry about their dead relatives. And if I could, pull this for me, Alderman. Ecclesiastes 9 and 5. Let's pull that. Ecclesiastes 9 and 5.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 5. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything.
What the dead know?
They know not anything.
Right.
Neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten.
Heavy. You know why I'm bringing this out? Because our people, especially the tribe of Judah, and I want to say, was it I.S.U.P.K? They have a knack to want to worship and celebrate their dead relatives, especially on these holidays. You got, you know, things like on Christmas, they sit down to have dinner, and there's one chair left, one chair left empty with grandma's picture, or you know, or some type of cardboard cutout of your, you know what I mean? Salaki. I mean, Salaki, listen, ain't nobody telling you that. Salaki, ain't nobody telling you that you can't, you know, have the memory and thought of your relatives, but to worship the dead, to get tattoos on the dead and stuff like that, that's an abomination, that's sin. And the Most High God says that He is the God of the living, and we're going to prove it right now. Let's get, what is it? Luke 20 and 38. Now, we just talked about honoring the dead. You know, that's again, when you're putting up a section in your house with candles and pictures and, you know, all these different things, that is unlawful. You understand that? According to the Most High God. This is something that you don't want to do. The Most High God is the God of the living. Okay? And we're going to prove that right now.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 20, verse 38, sir. For He is not a God of the dead.
Say that again.
For He is not a God of the dead.
Say it again.
For He is not a God of the dead, but of the living.
Right. You understand that? And this is heavy too, because the generals bring this out all the time, the captains and officers. When we do things like that, like, you know, continuously putting our thoughts on the dead, the people that are not here, the people whose their memory is going to be forgotten because it's over. You understand that? But what do? We take attention off of what? The people that are alive. You understand that? And you can, you know, hurt a brother or a sister or someone, you know what I mean, when they're alive by giving so much attention to somebody that's dead and not the people that's right there with you. You understand that? So that's something that we got to get away from as Israelites. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about Israelites, I'm talking about the 12 tribes, blacks, Hispanics, First Nation, man and woman. They're the 12 tribes that the Most High God favors over all other nations on the planet Earth. You understand that? So, but we got to get away from this worship of, you know, dead entities and holidays and things like that sort. Another thing that goes on during New Year's customs is, you know, around this time is Saturnalia, which is called Christmas today. This is another ancient Roman pagan tradition. You understand that? Which is what you find in Christmas, you know, the gift giving, you know, and such. Another thing that happens, Trooper Aharon, is orgies. And listen,
Wicked, man.
God, listen, believe it or not, a lot of people get very, how do you say, they tend to commit a lot of fornication, which is unlawful sex around these times. Getting drunk, getting high. It's the New Year's. I'm going to bring in my New Year's right.
There's probably a lot of rape going on.
Yeah, God, that's heavy what the brother just brought out. Right. You sisters especially, and this is, you know, you daughters of Israel. The reason why I'm bringing this out to you is because you are the weaker vessel. And this is what I want you to understand. That you could be taken advantage of during these times if you're not careful. If you're going out, you know, getting drunk, getting high, you know, going, you know, running around with, you know, random brothers and sisters and whatnot. It ain't even got to be a man now. It could be a female. You know, you got to be very careful because next thing you know, you get drunk and you end up in the back of somebody's car, somebody's side street, somebody's alley. You know what I mean? Luckily, you might still be alive and you might not be. You understand that? So you got to be very careful around this time because these things, like I said, and you can Google these things yourself. You know, you don't have to take my word. You can type it on yourself and Google orgies and things like this happen around this time. Unrestrained dancing. You know what I mean? That's what you see in the clubs and the parties. Women come with the skimpiest Littlest thing, brothers coming in with the pajamas,
Come.
the great gray sweatpants, extra tight sweatpants. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You practically might as well just come, naked, basically. You know what I mean?
Sir, one of the things they do, I think they like to kiss people in the mouth.
Oh,
that's
you
one
just brought that.
The next person next to you, when the clock strikes, whatever,
and look,
they kiss you in the mouth.
And Kyle, glad you brought that up because I was about to get into that next. So, and this all has to do with ancient fertility cults. These are things that were practiced in these heathen nations where, fertility was a big thing. This goes back to ancient Babylon. Okay. And what he just brought out was very heavy because guess what? When the ball drops on New Year's, what do people do? What do they do?
Turn and kiss the person.
Right. A complete stranger.
You don't know who that is. What herpes they have or what?
God. I just sent you it. You should have it. It should be a link about kissing. And we're going to bring that up. It's crazy. This brother, he has it in him, you know what I mean? He's going to be a priest one day, you know what I mean? But that was my next point I was going to get into. It says, kissing on New Year's was inspired by orgies in ancient Rome. Did you get that?
Come, just waiting for it there.
Okay, come. Read that little bit of that when you get that. Brother, Trooper R. Ron's going to read that for us.
Okay, this is how kissing.
Salaki, hold on 1 second. Okay, yeah, you start from the top. Go ahead.
Okay. How kissing on New Year's Eve was inspired by the orgies of ancient Rome. There are some weird New Year's traditions out there. In Switzerland, they celebrate the New Year by dropping ice cream on the floor for shame. While in Puerto Rico, they throw buckets of water out the window, hopefully when no one is walking by. In the Philippines, we buy round fruit, make noise, and toss coins around the house. These are all strange at first glance, but all superstitions in some way or another are meant to ward off evil and attract good luck. But no tradition is as universal as kissing someone at the stroke of midnight. Everywhere in the world, people ring in the. People ring in the New Year with a kiss, sometimes from a loved one, often from a stranger. It's a tradition that no one has questioned. Superstition aside, it's a pretty fun way to mark the start of a year. But there's more to the story than just hurling in good luck.
Okay. All right, that's good enough. So we pulled it up here what the brother just brought us heavy. You can see here on the TV here. This is pictures of ancient Rome, and look, they're all laying next to each other, naked. This is really what they would do. This is not just a picture. This is the actual depiction of what they would do. Laying next to some stranger and just getting their kiss on, you know what I mean? Just kissing, whoever it was, boys, girls, you know what I mean? But this is heavy what he brought out. This is where it comes from. So when we, the children of Israel, partake in things like this, we have no idea that we're doing, sinful things of other nations. All right, and that's our problem as the children of Israel. We have gotten away from following God's laws and want to be like everyone else and not our own people. You understand that? So, all right, I'm gonna pull out some stats here. It says Americans spent 159% more at liquor stores on New Year's Eve. Now, again, it's not unlawful to drink, but it just goes to show you that what is what we're building up and what's happening here in America. We're pouring a lot of money into the oppressor and his economy and his rulership. You understand that? And we just be getting broker and broker and broker. Just like, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
If I may, like during the oppressor's holidays, we like to turn up even more.
God.
Weird reason is like,
right, God. We can't just do it on our own merit on a regular day, or get with our people on a regular day. We got to wait till the oppressor says it. And okay, so another thing that happens around these times, it's a very noisy time. You understand that? So we're going to pull a scripture to prove that the Most High God is not. So when you're gazing up into the air at the fireworks, and and there's music, gospel music being played, and all this, filthy music being played, the Most High God is not for that. Let's go to Amos 5:21. Let's do that. Let's start there. Salakia. Amos 5:21. Pull that for me.
Oh, come on. This is the book of Amos chapter 5, verse 21.
All right.
I despise your feast days.
What did the Most High God say?
I despise your feast days.
Okay.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
The Most High God hates New Year's. He hates Christmas. He hates Thanksgiving. He hates your birthday, okay? These are all man-instituted things, all right? And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Yes, when you're celebrating Christmas and you're cooking up, at New Year's, you're cooking up those chitlins and ham and, all these unlawful things. The Most High God don't care nothing about that. He don't care how it smells, okay? Go ahead, keep going.
Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
You will not accept them. Go ahead.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Now pay attention. Verse 23.
Take thou away from me the noise of thy song.
You hear that? The Most High God don't care about your gospel music. He don't care. He don't care about your firecrackers and what do they play? The American, anthem during the time of the fireworks and everything, or what, July 4th or whatever, New Year's. The Most High God, these things are abominable, despicable acts in the sight of the Most High God. He does not care nothing about that. And again, if you think Priest Officer Kwangwa is making this up and Trooper Aharon is reading anything out of his phone, go into your Bible. You can see it for yourself. These are the same Bibles that are in your King James, in your Christian church, the King James Version Bible. It's the same Bible. You understand that? This is not something that we're making up. The Most High God hates these things. And because of it, we are a destroyed nation. And we're going to get into that shortly before we get up out of here. So, again, it's a noisy time, all right? And these are practices. These stem from ancient people called the Druids, all right? So these people are Celtic, Irish, Welsh people, okay? So, and they were like an Irish priesthood or whatever. So when you see people in those masquerade parties with masks and, these fireworks and all these different practices, the songs and everything, these things come from ancient pagan people. It's not our practices, all right? Let's get Jeremiah 10:1. Okay, we know this verse here. All right, Jeremiah 10:1.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1.
All right, listen up.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
That's talking about blacks, Hispanics, First Nation man and woman, not any other people. The Lord is giving you some wisdom, some knowledge about something here. Okay, he's going to talk about something wicked that people do. Okay, and he said, keep going.
Thus saith the Lord,
Yep.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
What did it say?
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Say it again.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Okay, so first off, we're about to get into something that the Lord hates, all right? So I'm going to read here in page 340 in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. That's here right here. Okay, this is a good tool if you want to get some definitions on some things. All right, so I'm gonna read this real quick. Because when you know why? Because when you hear that word heathen, a lot of people,
they don't know what it means.
They think that you're saying something bad, or that it could be talking about something different. But I'm gonna show you what it's talking about here. All right, so this is the definition of heathen in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. All right, it says goyim, ethnos, people or nation. Okay, so heathens are a nation of. It's not an actual class of people, but it's a people. It's an other nation, non-Israelites. Okay, non-Israelitish people. All right, rendered as Gentiles, heathen and nation, but it's usually used for non-Israelitish people. So what this is saying is it could mean Israelites that are not acting like Israelites, okay? So if you're in the world celebrating New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, your birthdays, you are considered a Gentile or acting like a heathen.
If I may, sir, like, when Christ said, you come together when you have disagreement, and it goes all the way to the actual school.
Right,
and if you don't still understand that you were wrong about it, you are considered a heathen. Right, even though you are an Israelite person, you are considered a heathen.
It's your deeds. It's if you're a so-called black, Hispanic, First Nation man or woman, and you're celebrating New Year's or Christmas Eve and things like that, or New Year's Eve, you are acting like a heathen or a Gentile. But originally, usually, it's talking about a non-Israelitish people. So when it says heathens, it's talking about the oppressors, the Africans, the Chinese, the Japanese, East Indians, right. It's talking about other people outside of our nation. So when you hear that word heathens, don't get mad at us. Don't get mad at Commanding General Yohanna, for telling you facts. Again, you You can find that right here in your on-demand Bible dictionary, okay? So let's talk about a non-Israelitish people, all right? Then you can finish reading that verse for me.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right.
Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain.
What does it say about the customs of the people?
The customs of the people are vain.
Mean nothingness, worthlessness. You understand that? The customs of people are about nothing. It's about to tell you what it's talking about. Go ahead.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman,
right,
with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold.
Right.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
All right, that's enough there. It says, learn not the way of the heathen, or these non-Israelitish people. That is talking about what, Trooper Alderman?
Say that again, sir. I'm sorry.
What is that verse talking about?
Learn not the way of the heathen?
Right. And what holiday is it talking about?
That's Christmas.
Right, come on. You see what I'm saying? So, again, Salakia, the scriptures in Jeremiah 10:1 is talking about Christmas. That's the verse about the Christmas tree. It's a heathen custom. You understand that? New Year's is a heathen custom. These are all heathen customs. And when I said non-Israelitish people, and I talked about who were the Israelites, let me pull something here, okay? This is in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, 388, all right? It's going to talk about who Israel is. Israel is Jacob. Israel was his name. He got changed to Israel after he wrestled with the angel. So Jacob is Israel, okay? And he's the father of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, First Nation men and women. It says Israel is used in Scripture to designate an individual man, the son of Isaac, his name is also called Jacob, or by his descendants, the 12 tribes, the Hebrews, or the 10 northern tribes led by Ephraim, as opposed to the southern under Judah. So when you talk about the 12 tribes, blacks, Hispanics, First Nation men and women, tribe of Judah, Israelites, that comes from Jacob, who is Israel, all right? So that's us. That's myself, Trooper Aaron, and many brothers and sisters in the world. You might not know that's who you are. Some of us believe that we're stinking Africans because, the oppressor teaches you this, you know what I mean? In your schools, these public courthouses, they teach that we're Africans, and that's a lie. All right. And we're going to prove it here with a verse that the tribe of Judah are black people. We're the real Israelites that the Bible speaks about. Give me Jeremiah 14:2. If I could.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Correct.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
They are black unto the ground.
The real Jews, which is where they get the term Jews from, is from Judah, the fourth son, of Israel. You understand that? The real Jews are in mourning. Who does that sound like? That sounds like the black man today. Right. It sounds like our brothers and our sisters. The real Jews are in mourning, and they are what?
And they are black unto the ground.
Right. Talking about the complexion of the real Jews. If you dig up that soil, black people go from light chalk to dark. We come in all flavors, all colors. You understand that? So the real Jews are black, like unto the ground. If you dig in that soil deep enough, you'll see all those colors. You understand that? That's what it's talking about. So the real Jews are black. All right, we're going to pull up some scriptures before we get up out of here. Let's get on. We're going to talk a little bit about our destruction. Let's go to Lamentations 5:1. Our destruction has come from because we are disobedient to the Most High's law, statutes, and commands. So we're going to pull some scriptures about that. You got Lamentations 5:1.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider, and behold our reproach.
Good too.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Our land, everything that we work for, everything that King David, worked for, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, these things that were given to us through our ancestors, King Solomon, you understand that? Our inheritance is turned to strangers. What strangers? The Edomites, the so-called oppressors, that's what the Bible speaks about. You got Africans in your neighborhood selling you icy balls, you know what I mean? East Indians and Arabs in your store, running your stores in black neighborhoods, you understand that? These things that should be ours, they are running it. You understand that? Keep going.
Our houses to aliens.
Yes, our land. They took over our land. That's why you got the, Israelis and Palestinians, you know what I mean, fighting in our land. You understand that?
We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows.
I don't think we need the Bible to tell you that, do we? That you brought around. I mean, that's every black man and black woman. You know what I'm saying? We orphans, fatherless. You know what I mean? We've been raised without our fathers. You know what I'm saying? Our mothers, they're widows. You understand that? I mean, this is heavy. This is heavy. Go to 4.
We are drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us.
Go to 5.
Our necks are under
What you say
persecution.
about our necks?
Our necks are under persecution. That's heavy.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a physical image of that. Our necks are under persecution by who? The oppressor that what the Bible speaks about. Hold on, let me show you a physical, image of that. Yeah, this actually happened. You understand that? This is real. This one here. What I want. Where's that? I don't know if it's big enough on here, but yeah, see that? See, our necks are under persecution. This happened in slavery, and it happens today, even today, by the oppressor. But this is a physical image of our necks being under bondage. You understand that? Physical. You know what I mean? That actually happened. We are under persecution. We labor. What do you think this is? What do you think this slavery is? We labor. They put us in the cotton fields and made us, serve as slaves. I don't know if you can see the pictures real good here on the picture. I'm trying to get one to pull up a little bigger. But yeah, this is what happened to us. You understand? This is what happened to our people. You know what I mean? He made us, the oppressor made us serve him. We still do to this day. Let me get a picture of, here it is right here. Wow. Yeah, you see that? This is what our ancestors did. Picking cotton, right? The kids would be in the field as well. Once they hit about 7 or 8 years old, they put the kids in the field. They would have our grandmothers and grandfathers at 80, 90 years old picking cotton, bending down in the fields. Feed you, you know what I mean? Bread and water, slop. You understand that? This is talking about the oppressor. This is why we say the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks about. This is why, because he's the one that did this to us. You understand that? And this is a punishment given by the Most High God because of our disobedience, all right? Let's go to Romans 9 and 6. Let's pull that. Romans 9 and 6.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of God have taken none effect. For they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
Right. And this is talking about that, yes, we are the Israelites, but we don't conduct ourselves like the children of the Most High God. We don't conduct ourselves as the rulers of this planet, which we are originally supposed to be. You know how I know? Because we're celebrating Christmas. We're celebrating New Year's. You understand? Our brothers are getting shape-ups and stuff like that. You know, tattoos, eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You understand? That's what this is talking about. And this is why we are destroyed as a people. So that's what we're running through now. Let's get Judges 2, start at Judges verse 2 and 11.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 2, verse 11. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord.
What did the children of Israel do?
Did evil in sight of the Lord. And served Baalim.
Baalim is just, Lord or a master, a different God. Okay? That's what we do when we celebrate these holidays. When you take part in New Year's Eve, you're serving Baalim. You're serving Janus. You know what I mean? You're worshiping Janus. Keep going.
Verse 12. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers.
They forsook the Lord God of their fathers. Go ahead.
Which brought them out of the land of Egypt.
We were in bondage to the Egyptians first. And this is how you know that we're not Africans. Because the Hamites, the Africans, the Egyptians, you know what I mean? The Egyptians are the seed of Ham. And they had us in bondage. They had us building the pyramids. Okay? So we were taken out of Egypt, out of bondage. The Lord did that for us through Moses. Okay? Keep going.
And followed other gods.
When we left out of Egypt, guess what we did? We went into the wilderness and got, I guess you could say, upset and wanted to go back to ancient Egypt. And we made and made a golden calf and worshipped that. Because where did the golden calf come from?
Egypt.
Ancient Egypt. We just left out of Egypt and we were used to worshiping Baalim or false gods there. You understand that? So we went to the wilderness and did the same thing. Just like we're today in America. were in another land worshiping white Jesus. You understand that? Cesar Borgia. You know what I mean? Edomite white Jesus. Keep going.
Of the gods of the people that were round about them.
Where do those gods come from?
Of the people that were round about them.
When you worship Janus, you're worshiping a Greek or a Roman god. That is for the people round about us. That is not the God we're supposed to worship. And your filthy Christian pastors know about this. And they will not tell you these things because they want to fill the lust of their own belly. So when you go into the Christian church, what are they worshiping? They're celebrating Christmas. They're going to decorate the Christian church with Halloween decorations. They're certainly going to celebrate New Year's. You know what I mean? Because you know why? More tithe money coming in for the new year. He wants to make more than he did last year. You understand?
That's his resolution.
Right, God. Keep going.
And bowed themselves unto them. And bowed themselves unto them and provoked the Lord to anger.
Right. When you do these things, you provoke the Most High God to anger. And then what happens? Brothers die in the streets. Brothers and sisters go to jail. Get hooked on drugs. Police brutality. Living in the ghettos, the barrios. I grew up in Garfield. You know what I mean? Pt.1, you grew up in what? North side. Right. The brothers are growing up in Homewood. And we know about these situations. We've been there. We know. You understand that? These things happen. You know what I mean? We lose relatives. You understand that? This is all, you know, these are all curses. You understand? These are curses. All right? Let's get 2 Maccabees 4 and 15. We're getting to the end here. 2 Maccabees, that's in the Apocrypha. 2 Maccabees 4 and 15.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 19? 15, Slovakia. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
Ain't that something? You understand that? Not setting by the honors of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, King David, King Solomon. You know what I mean? Do you understand this, black man and black woman? Do you know if you are the tribe of Judah, you are the direct lineage of Yahweh, Jesus Christ, as they call him? You understand that? And listen, if you're a black man walking around, you need to notice that Christ is actually in the same lineage as you. You understand that? If you're in the tribe of Judah, that is the exact tribe that Christ came from. And we all are Israelites. But you understand where you deceit or the stock of people that you come from? So if you look at our destroyed situation here in America today and think about where you come from, I mean, come on. This is why it's so wicked when you see an image of Cesar Borgia. Let me pull this image up here so you can see this right here. Let me see how much of an abomination this is.
Look at that.
This is how much of an abomination this is. You understand that? This is what it's talking about when they say they crucify our Lord in this land, because they repeatedly over and over again they keep telling you that this is what Christ looks like. We know that Christ does not look like this. Okay, here in the I.S.U.P.K. we are taught better than this. You understand that? This is Cesar Borgia. This is not Christ. Okay, Yahweh in the Hebrew. Christ is a black man. Okay, Revelations 1 and 13. We know that. All right, but again, this is so wicked because this is making people think that this is what God or Christ looks like. When in fact he does not look like that. Christ looks like a black man like myself and Trooper Aharon and many other brothers in the world. You understand that? And if you knew that, if you knew the stock of people that you come from, just imagine growing up as a child and the first time you look in that wall, you see the image of a black man instead of seeing that. And this is what we saw. This is what we saw in Grandma's house and in our grandparents' house.
Big picture.
And I looked at myself like, look at this. Something doesn't add up here. You understand? I'm in a house with all black people, and this is on my wall. I mean, look at the destruction that causes. And that automatically submits you to that people that look like that, who are the oppressors, the devils that the Bible speaks about. I mean, don't get mad at Priest Officer Cornwall for bringing it out. You know what I mean? I'm just bringing out the truth. You understand that? Was that it on that? Yeah, that was it on that. So verse 15 it said, not setting by the honors of their fathers, but the liking the glory of the Grecians. Best of all, the Grecians are the Greeks. Okay? And remember, the Romans and the Greeks, the same people, they worship Janus during New Year's. Okay? And they worship Saturnalia, which is Christmas and everything. Okay? Which is an ancient Babylonian custom, which came from the Egyptians under Nimrod. Okay? So let's get the last couple scriptures and we're out here. Let's get Proverbs 21 and 21. Now we're going to talk a little bit about salvation and freedom from these things. All right, what we need to do. Okay, first of all, number one, the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding Gen.YAHANNA is the answer. Okay, because this is where the only truth is. Forget about your fake Israelite groups, the IUIC, GOCC, ABCD, whatever they call themselves. They're all break-off groups from the I.S.U.P.K. This is the only truth here in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding Gen.YAHANNA.
Right,
1 West 125th Street.
Right,
all right, keep going.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 21.
Yeah.
He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life.
Right. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness, and honor. All right, so what's righteous? Keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High God, which you find in the King James Version Bible. All right, and where do you see the best representation of that, Trooper Aharon?
On earth,
yes.
Right now, the commanding General Yohanan.
Right, here you go, right. I'd rather know what you're talking about, right. That's where you see it at. This is the best representation. You can go ahead and waste your time in the Christian church if you want. You can go ahead and power bottom T.D. Jakes if you want. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can break your great Christian heart right now. Let me see if I can pull this up. You better hope I can't pull this up. I'm telling you, you better hope I can't pull it up, because I'm about to hurt some people.
They don't care.
Let me see. Great, might have messed up. Let me see. Better hope. Look, Satan messing with it. Look. He don't want me to break it out. Satan don't want me to break this out, but it's coming out. It's coming out, regardless if you don't want me to or not. Satan. Hold on, let me see. Okay, hold on. Well, they might have said he might have put his millions together and take it off the internet. Let's see. T.D. Jakes and what was it? Kurt Franklin?
Yeah, it's sitting on his lap. What excuse can they use for that one?
Yeah, right. Where's that? Oh, please tell me it's on here. Here it is. Wow. Oh yeah, look, it's from right from more people too. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this here. This is your Christian pastor, T.D. Power Bottom Jakes. Look at that
face.
T.D. Jakes,
smile on his face.
T.D. Jakes and Kurt Franklin sitting on his lap. This is what you learn in the Christian church. You're not going to learn righteousness in the Christian church. You're going to learn homosexuality, LGBTQ. And I understand some of you sisters are going to probably, unfriend me on Facebook and everything now because we brought out the truth. Guess what? We don't give a damn. You understand that? This is the truth, whether you like it or not, and we have to bring it out. You know what I mean? So go ask T.D. Jakes why he's doing this, and once you do that, while you're upset that we're bringing it out, why don't you ask him why he did that? All right. Let's go to James 1 and 22.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 22. Mm-hmm. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only,
right,
deceiving your own selves.
You got it. Hold on. Okay. You do that. Read that from one more time again.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 22. But be ye doers of the word.
Be ye what?
Be ye doers of the word.
Keep going.
And not hearers only. Deceiving your own selves.
Right. You can't sit here and hear what myself and Trooper Aharon is trying to tell you here, our commanding general of the I.S.U.P.K, and hear these things and not put your works in or have zeal to learn this truth. Now it's time to, start watching these classes. We have classes Monday through Friday. We have the Sabbath service on Saturday. Come down to the camps. Watch your favorite Christian get cut up, and you know what I mean, by not physically by anything short, by the scriptures. You understand that? We're not going to do anything to harm anybody, but we will defend ourselves. Don't get it twisted. But be ye doers of the word. The word is in the Bible here, the King James Version Bible. All right, and not hearers only. Don't just listen to this and just walk away from it. Deceiving your own selves. You're going to deceive yourself if you don't take it. If you're going to celebrate New Year's after we just brought all this out, I mean,
Lord,
good night.
Good
night. Whatever happens to you is going to happen to you. I mean, this is what it's talking about here. Let's get Deuteronomy 6 and 24. We'll bring one more after that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes,
Right.
to fear the Lord our God, for our good always.
For who's good?
For our good always.
For the Lord's good.
For our good always.
For the white man's good.